Oh.
Did it get here quick enough for you guys?
It's your favorite, Shannon.
It's hard to believe that's already here. I mean, anxiety, nervous, anticipation. What's it feeling?
It's a long time coming. It's a long time coming, trying to get the sour taste from last season out of my mouth the way it ended. We know we're better than that. So, long preseason. Practice started earlier this year, so it's been a long grind up into the first game tomorrow. So, can't complain. Ready to tip off the 2013-2014 season.
You got answers?
No, not really. Just ready to get out there, really, and get the season going. And long preseason, like Justin said. So, I think everybody ready to get out there and just play against somebody different.
Justin, how do you see yourself this year? I mean, each year you develop a little bit more and more, and now you're going to be looked upon as one of the leaders on this team. How do you see yourself this year?
You know, I see myself as being a leader, like you said, and being one of the older guys on the team that the younger guys can look up to for those critical moments. You know, been having the luxury of playing with Terrell Holloway and, you know, a couple of those guys like that, being able to see how it's done down the stretch and how to finish games. You know, I think that's where we lacked that last year, not being able to finish games. And, you know, it being my fourth year, I'm probably going to be one of those guys that looked upon, you know, help close out games along with Semaj. So I look forward to the role and accepting the role to the best of my ability that, you know, coaches give me and that the team trust me with. So,
What kind of leader do you see yourself as?
What do you like on the eve of the season opener? I mean, do you sleep or do you eat? I mean, is it just another day for you or not at all?
Game day will be a little different. You know, we're still preparing for Gardner-Webb, getting ready, continue to watch film, you know, all the way up until late tonight, just to make sure there's no stone unturned and prepare our kids for anything. You know, game one is, you know, you have to be ready for surprises, and I want our coaching staff to make sure that we're prepared. But no, you have nerves. I mean, you know, you're a competitor, you want to win, and you know, you have nerves for sure, whether you're a player or a coach.
For a coach going into a season, the unknowns, is that some of the things like, I mean, you can't write it out, you don't know what's going to happen, but the unknowns about this team, about chemistry, or about, you know, the strengths and weaknesses, the unknowns, is that a big part of this, the early anxieties before the season starts?
Well, I know who our team is. I mean, you might not, and the fans might not, but I feel like I have a good pulse on, you know, what our team brings to the table. Certainly, we're going to learn a lot about our team here over the next few games, and it's your charge as a coach to continue to improve, to get better as the season goes along. But, you know, it's been a long preseason in a good sense, but nevertheless a lot longer than it's ever been. And it's time to play a game and then take inventory from there. But, you know, our kids are excited to play. I think I'm not just the only coach that feels that way. Probably every Division I coach in the country feels that way. That comes tomorrow night.
Speaking of surprises, Justin said the guys were pretty excited about not Landon was getting a scholarship. How did you spring it on them, and you know what went to that decision-making process?
Well, number one, he's earned it. Number two, I can't put a finger on the actual date that it was announced. I know it was announced in the locker room probably a couple of weeks ago before practice. And I just felt like, and our coaching staff felt like it was the right thing to do. Landon has earned the respect of all of his teammates. He plays hard every single day. He's never asked for anything. Everything that he's ever gotten, he's earned. He was a big part of our success a year ago, a big part of our ability to defend really high-level teams. I mean, he single-handedly guarded some all-conference type players. It was a special moment, and I'm glad that we have the opportunity to be able to do that for Landon, especially since he's deserving of it.
So he didn't know it was coming?
I don't believe so, no.
Speaking of Landon, he's hurt. You expect him to be back in 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the timetable that we were given. You know, 4 to 6 weeks is sort of the general landscape when it comes to lateral meniscus tears, and we have a great medical team. I'm sure they'll do an excellent job tomorrow, and he'll be rehabbing as soon as he wakes up from surgery, and hopefully we'll get him back sooner rather than later.
Chris, obviously a lot of new faces on this team, a lot of excitement for, for the fans upcoming. What kind of style of play would you say that this team is kind of take on, absorb? I mean, a lot of guard play, obviously, you're heavy there. I mean, a lot of tempo or?
Well, I'd like to be an attacking team. I think when Xavier historically has had their better teams, they've been teams that have attacked in transition, that have gotten to the rim, that play fearless, whether home or away. And I'd like to think that we can be that team. We're a little short-handed as we head into the opener with Landon down and D down, but I still think that we can play that way, be very, very effective, and at the same time still do our job in the half court on both ends of the floor when needed.
Is D definitely out for opener?
We're leaning that way, yes.
When you look at Gardner-Webb, you have some familiarity with Najee Hibbert, a guy that was highly recruited out of high school and then played at Texas A&M. From what you've seen in maybe some of their preseason games, I mean, has he made an impact on their team so far in his first year at the school?
Well, he's a high-level shooter. He certainly played at a very, in a high-caliber conference, Big 12. I mean, he's going up every day against, really, really highly talented players, whether in practice or in games. So, we know he's going to bring a shooting dimension to the game tomorrow night. He's got really good size. He can score the ball, but he's not the only player that they bring to the table. Dante Harper is a really good three-man, and a kid that led him in offensive rebounding was all conference. So they present a challenge. It's game one. There isn't as much familiarity for both teams because there's not a lot of game tape that you have, but nevertheless we'll be ready to go.
You only played one preseason game, but that team plays pretty good. They beat Wisconsin, they take Syracuse deep in the game. To beat them by 30, you get a good gauge for where your team is going into the
No, I think you're mistaken on our opponent. I think that was across town. But I would tell you that the exhibition game was a good test for us. Just to play against different personnel, different style of play. But again, the athletes that we're going to start facing now are going to be a lot different.
Is Jalen Reynolds okay? He had that elbow.
Jalen's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he banged his elbow about a week and a half ago or whenever it was, and he's really not been hampered ever since the exhibition game. The day off, the next day, he's fine. He's ready to go.